Hello. Let's talk about big subject. Let's talk about gold. 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 God the Father. God the Father. What is God the Father? God the Father took at the beginning, Genesis 1 took that chaos and turned it into reality. And that reality is the universe as we can perceive. That reality contained the material realm, the spiritual realm, and the earth. Mostly for the fact that nobody can pinpoint really what earth is. They have a hard time. I mean, flat Earth's got some solid points. So, I mean, when you have when there's a lot of intelligence in the discernment, you start wondering again. Go visit the case of the flat earthers. See how they think. Just like the young earther. So, anyways, that's the creation. And that creation can only become Jesus, that reality can only kind of be descended for God taking place of Jesus at that realm. So from bringing God in the universe, if you will, because you're looking more closely to your eyes, and things are holy, so they're the same. They function the same way at those different levels. So at new birth, that reality become true. So that makes you discover the Father as the entity of reality. Because reality can only be true, and truth is reality. They go together, they build of each other. Only true things can be built. You cannot build not true things. They don't work, or they can't be put together. So in that same meaning, after new birth, Jesus is also regarded in a way, as it's funny to say it like that, because that's something that is absolutely not written in the Bible nowhere, but it's the truthfulness of the work of the devil in a way. Which is the same coin and the other face that says that God has created everything. So as to clearly understand that the devil does exactly what God asked him to do. God controls the devil. And God don't get the prayer of the unborn, because the unborn, they don't have Jesus, they don't have truth, so they don't perceive reality as equal as truth, or in the same essence, as you always say that God and Jesus the same. Yeah, reality and truth is the same also. But as long as you're not convinced that reality is absolute truth and truth is absolute reality, and vice versa, they work together, and you cannot explain the personalization of evil and the depersonalization of evil, because he exists and at the same realm, at the same descent of the Trinity, that the devil also descend in it. As when you don't see reality in a truthful manner, you don't see what the devil does on you. So you don't see how the devil, I mean, a crisp understanding of how the devil is participating into an unknown reality that wouldn't have truth. When you know how the devil works, you know, as in the realm of reality in truth, you regard reality with the power of your intelligence in emotion of discernment. The devil becomes the comprehending that you haven't used your intelligence the right way. You have used your intelligence to try to comfort your flesh, and you haven't let the spiritual realm place your life where it needs to be. So that basically means that you have took in your hands the direction of your life. Boom, you're evil possessed. It's because you don't understand truth that indicate that this truth has nothing to do with your biological entity and its comfort, but had to do with regarding the power of the spiritual realm. So one goes against the other completely dynamically, in a complete and perfect way. That if you walk yourself, or you let the spiritual world walk you. So you take decision for yourself, or you learn how not to take decision for yourself. Because it's understood in your head after new birth that God belongs to you. And you thought you were driving your life all along the time before new birth, and when you receive new birth, you realize that no. Every single breath, everything, perfectly everything, He made it done to you. So you arrive at that spot when it's time for new birth. With your spirituality, with your construct of idea of what reality is, that you have come to an acceptance that you're ready to receive anything, that you're not scared of regarding that truth anymore. You really want to see that truth. And that truth only holds in one place. It has to coincide with the heart. Therefore, everything must be justice based. So after new birth, when you regard reality, the first aspect that you see about reality, it's its perfect justice that always been and always gonna be there. And that becomes a simple system, but it becomes a system. It becomes something that has gears and leverage, and it push there and pull there, and everything's concise and logic. It's your inacceptance of that power of that spiritual realm. And that's very much, like I say, what kind of happened at New Birth when you realize that he brought you to be exactly at that state at that moment, with that luggage and that stuff in your luggage of life, and exactly that to the amount of hair that you lost all along that time, kind of thing. Exactly that. There's so many of those beautiful pictures that there's two guys in one track and Jesus is carrying you. Yeah, that's kind of right, but that be after new birth, and that you have to learn to be in His arm, kind of thing. That's kind of the image that you want to get by that, because Jesus is not. If you're tormented today, if you have worries, if there's worries in your heart, any kind of worries, you have problem as a Christian, as a real Christian. Then you don't believe that God drives the world as you realize He was driving you in a way that is good, because He does everything perfect for the elect. So everything you see, therefore, must be absolutely good, and that's the message by that. Find justice, buddy, because there's a justice down here, and it makes sense. I'm not an idiot. Look around. Everything is intelligent. So as the structure for you that own a consciousness, a soul that acknowledge of something superior down here, and something superior in the sense that it's something extremely natural for us, for our nature, that is the nature of God, that we're in search of bigger, and it didn't took long, and we were worshiping bigger things. Making a story about gods and this and that. But how tall was Enoch? No, I don't know. You don't know. I wouldn't be able to answer that question one bit. But there was giant in that time, and there was before that, and then the giants were fed the water right under their feet. The mist was coming out from the ground. So you had direct access to the realm of the demons, as any, like the spirits are always imaged by water, vapor, clouds and smoke, and water and things like that, sea, and it's all the realm of idea and imagination. It's all the image. That's another good fence, the image. The image. When you think, do you think image or you think concept? I never, other than for inventing things, as I'm an inventor, mechanic inventor. When I was inventing things, I had to use my common sense. And that's the exercise, that's the normal exercise of the brain, to conceptualize, to create, to to do all that stuff. That's what intelligence push us to do. But since we're animal, like fully animal, pretty much, all that nature comes with it. So I am pretty sure that anybody that could imagine that you give our seed to any animal and he'll be just like us and start to screw around with things and try to build other than the structure that it's been given to it at first. And when you regard the animals that kind of demonstrate the most ability, that are kind of that would be parallel, or because we don't know what a bird thinks, but a crow is very good at using tools. So you wonder about that, and puts it in steps, and does the right action at the right time, coordinate movement, and but the rats are acting like us when you do social experiments. So what all that means? What I can regard is that there's no animal that drives car, and that kinds of cuts it if you want to be stupid about it. At one point, you can't say that you're at the same level as animal. There's something else in us. That's motion of intelligence. So you're able to conceptualize, as God has done with chaos when he put it into matter. He used that same intelligence. That's the seed. That's that main seed. That's that seed of creation. Intelligence allows you to be able to conceive things. And you have both feet on matter, and you're surrounded by it. And you don't have hair, you don't have claws, you don't have sharp teeth. You're an idiot in the nature. Like you're not. You're very cursed that way. I mean, he puts it in your face that no, buddy, you're not an animal. You're a half god, half. You're a god in developing. A god in development. In the nurture's place, in the belly. You're in the belly of your mom all along your life. You're building yourself for the eternal realm. That's the real work there is to be done here. That you ensure the stability of your eternal life. That's what really matters. These nice BMWs, they're not there for long. Your life is not there for long. Nothing's there for long. Sorry about that. building the things of heavens. Satan, Satan's goal is to realize himself in reality through material. And that's the plan of God. That's God's plan. To create Satan in material. God decided of that plan. Satan's not going like a crazy with no head, not knowing what he's doing. He's as narrowly as I was walking on earth before new birth, and I didn't know that God was making me walk exactly in the path that exact same way the devil works with God. It's the exact same thing. It's just another level of creation. It's another body. It's body spiritual, body terrestrial, heavenly body. These are all different bodies. The fact that we use our intelligence to modify matter is the core of that transgression. It's for us almost that you can't, and that's why it says that you're not working that. It's not about working that. Because even though you do it perfect, you're still gonna at one point lie, because you're not born knowing everything. So you're gonna lie. You don't have to want to lie to lie. When you're convinced of something but there's an error in it, you're a liar. I know I do those videos and I know that I'm lying here and there, and then I listen to them and yeah, exactly, I'm lying. I leave them because I'm hoping somebody catches those lies. They're often just words that I say wrong, but guarantee you that the details of those ideologies are not all pinpoint. You don't see the spiritual realm. You gotta figure it out. But that's the motion. That's what makes you elevate. Your foot touch the ground. Your foot are grounded with your heart in the way that you want to march your own life, and you have hope in that, and there's a whole motion of will, and in that becomes your program to achieve your life. You just choose the program. In the sense that everybody, it's kind of clear that anybody that manifests enough heart is enough distorted by seeing enough injustice down here. If you're happy with what you see, riding society, Very far from it. Unless you hit a big brick wall kind of thing, and something click in your life. I mean, that's how the Holy Spirit works in a way. But you have to live. You have to live. You have to go deep into what you're doing wrong, all the way till it completely destroys you. And that's where you have a chance to have a grip of those things. You go deep. And general public has no idea what going deep is. Going deep, like, I don't know. I think the best way to go deep is to get lost in the elite. Getting scared by the depth of the Masonic movement. It gets scary in the last step there, the last three step there. Things are getting scary. You're a billionaire, and you know a lot of things about. I mean, you know a lot of things if you're inquisitive about it, because it's. I mean, the head office, which is Satan, hides his card. Nobody knows what Satan's gonna do in a way, because God tells us that nobody knows at what's the time. Only God the Father knows when it's the time. So that shows you how much He's in control of everything. He's in control of everything. Of everything. And that's the scary part. Because one thing He makes us clear, and you get the concept right away when new birth happens on you. That he becomes the distortion. Satan is in control of the distortion in between the natural and the distorted that we have done, and he have achieved that through our works. You realize at new birth, it's so like that's the most thing, that you were evil possessed, not that you're a bad person. That you thought that the realm of society was the achievement of men in a way that's the kind of the normal course and all that, and you haven't caught that in a way that whole thing is Satan. You know that you need new birth to kind of enter that into kind of a sliver of a pie of the things that happen here. That sliver being called transgression, that is the distortion of the natural things that should have happened if we would have not been cursed by what's happening to us as a plan. But you understand that the plan is not to save people, but it's to train the one that are chosen. And that's another thing that you don't grasp at first. You don't understand why at second, because the justice is so simple, and the answer is so simple. But then at third, and right away, you didn't put your nose in the Bible. You don't know what's happening yet. But at third, you understand that nobody can catch that. Nobody gets it. Nobody would dare to get it, because it's too much of a dent in pride. especially in the society that we live in. That you're way past pride. You're way past pride. You have become a complete idiot. In the sense that now you create an identity not by by your buying power in a way for the magnificency of the craftsmen you can afford that can do that incredible suit with crazy amount of embroidery and things like that, like things of very fine natures. You get a name tag on a China made t-shirt, if another sweatshop, whatever, and it's good. A Nike, a Nike plastic tag on it, and that becomes your identity. You like Nike, and you have the cap and the t-shirt and the shoes, and you're the Nike guy. I love Nike. Nike's awesome. Holy fuck, Mercedes is awesome. We built an identity with that machine we have invented of transforming natural resources into a car, and get our identity with that. The tag, name tag everywhere, name tag and nice name tags, and it's all tag. And that's idealism. That's what idealism is. Marketing is a terrible. I mean, that's the fine way to sell your crap. No, if your crap is good, you're informing. You're not allowed to pass informing. It's the tactic of sales, and how to put the colors together to identify yourself to a certain energy, and it's full on witchcraft, buddy. It's full on witchcraft. It's deception. Deception with colors, and deception with this, and deception with that, and for you to be able to change your car every 2 years, like, fuck. Transgression, dude. That's we're not not supposed to be here for that. So that's all good. When you pray for your budget to line up and all that stuff, when you pray for all, especially when you start praying in the air and stuff like that. Who's the prince in the air? Who's the prince of power of the air? It's Satan. When you pray loudly, and you ask for protection, and you ask for that sickness, and you ask for this, and you ask for that, and then you sing, and then you feel good, and you're all praying to God, guys. You're all praying to God. It's a bummer. It's a bummer. There's no comprehension in that. You don't comprehend why you're here when you do that stuff. You just have a good feeling. That's all God. God is the heart. God is the heart. And if you're happy for another reason, then having received new birth, you're in a bad spot. You're in a really bad spot. Really, really bad spot. Not that what you do is bad, is that what you do is innocent, is that you really don't listen to your heart in the manner that you and that's cheating, because in the society that we live now, we're so far with that era of industrialization. Then you put on that computer, wow, electricity, then computer, then artificial intelligence, woohoo, be crazy next step with AI. But we do that and we don't know what we're doing. That's the only thing. I mean, that's what. But that's when you also get, like, I'm coming back with the other concept, that it's clear that it's you're not here to try to save the planet or anything like that. That you don't fight like that, because that's God's in control. God does it for good. So you don't attempt to change things. You just regard things, and then it's not even your world. So what do you care about it? It's the material world. It belongs to the enemy. You don't care about it anymore. And you have understood that your personal life is so stupid, outside of comprehending more how that spiritual realm work on us and make us do those things. So you can have discussion with people with powerful effect, because you put together simple logics, and then your heart don't lie on that. That's why you get pissed off when there's too much energy on the other side, and you have satisfied your heart too much the other way. God, when reality is true, after new birth, and you rediscover the layers of percep ability to be perceived in different level, and keeping the same line of thought, that idea of holiness. That on a personal level, Jesus is your mind. In the zone of comfort of the established, by having regarded that same Jesus in reality, and especially having understood him as the doable. So I regard a lot Jesus on a simple base. When I color in my Bible and shit like that, I call Jesus logic. And it's kind of, in a way, in that magic word that brings everything together with consciousness, convictions, comprehension, power of analytic building system. Everything has to be logic. If that's how my brain works, especially that I'm a boyish boy. Everything, if I don't comprehend one part of a system, I don't comprehend the system at all. The system kind of gets real clear in my head when I get at least all of the important parts that I'm kind of thinking about, and then you refine by the little parts around it. But I have to comprehend the basic system in a basic way, the basic functioning of it. And if I get that clear, then the whole thing appears clear in my head. I see all the details in it, in a way. And that's when and that's the same thing with peace. It brings all that peace. But all that to say that all that happens in the realm of the Father of the power of your intelligence. So coherency is a part of the ability of the brain, if you see it in a very basic way. So to say that the mind brings the concept in a system, and the soul treats it with the heart into bringing an added complication, that the whole unity of that wants a crisp answer so it can receive that conviction, that feeling of conviction. And that's what you really care at the end. It's that somehow now you understand it so clear that you're convinced of it, and that's when you're blinded, because you're in a state of mind that you don't want to receive too much information, because it kind of scares you, because you have your systematic that kind of function. But if I have discussion that are too deep with people, I lost my concept and nothing works anymore, and then they laugh at me because I'm saying contradictions and things like that. And that's when you know that you have a blind faith. When you receive the Holy Spirit, that's all you crave, is for a discussion that go as deep as it can go. Bring it on, bring it on. I never had one yet. I never had a good discussion with somebody that had a crisp understanding of that spiritual warfare and what's happening for real to us into that maneuver of the devil, which is the exact will of God. That's exactly what God has planned. Everything that happened down here. But how come? In a way, it's hard to say. It's harsh to say, but never met another one that goes to paradise. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know who's going there. Maybe one person I know. A teacher in high school that I have a vague detailed souvenir, but I remember he shocked me quite a few times, and he was weird. But that's a good sign for a Christian. But no, I never really met one. And I'm looking at like websites, but I mean all those sermon audio, and I've been looking and no, I can't even get one person that had a good explanation of what would be the difference in between God the Father and God the Son. What would be the difference in between the two? And if you can't separate God and God, that don't go well. There's the Father and the Son, and they're extremely distinct. They all the same nature, so when you bring them from one place to another, they have to stay the same nature. So when the Father, Creator, becomes the Father reality, and then you bring him down closer to your heart, becomes the power of your mind, and you have your Trinity there. But Jesus necessitate, if he was created, then create Jesus. Daddy was creator, Son was reality, then it goes down. Father becomes reality. His Son needs to become truth. And then when it descends another one, when Father is the power of your mind, Jesus becomes the power of concision, the power of discernment. the motion that brings about that cherished conviction that you receive down here out of interaction with reality. As much as watching YouTube video about politics and where politics is, as much as a discussion with somebody about a joke that you kind of turn around and whatever, like a small part of truth that whoop and kind of jump the brain a little bit, whoa, and creates a spark. That's reality is all around you, and it's all perfect for you to grab information out of. Reality is perfect. Justice is perfect. Everything is perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect for a training. It trains you. It shows you the main essence of the training in your mind that you create with all that. The whole base of it is down here. It's full of powers and things you can do. And you see there's logical ones to do, and there's illogical, non-logical ones to do. But what you don't know is that even though you try to create something, it doesn't matter. It already has been all created. So somewhere in the realm of imagination, all the parts are there. It's just to construct slowly. You systematize brains to put a piece in that fits right in that brain, and stunk, you get the bright idea of that new concept kind of thing. It's spiritual realm works a bit more that way. It completes branches from the top. It's to grab the nature of the heavens and bring them down on earth. In the heavens, everything is these are places where I didn't philosophize. I might do wrong there, but it appears to me that the heavens are more a realm of like that logic where Jesus resides, that things fit together. And when you grab that realm, and down here on earth you work it that manner into trying to bring those logics together and work your ambition through your inventivity. You grab the things from heaven and you steal them and you manifest them on earth. That's how you can regard it. That basically the base of it is that you bring the logics from the above and you materialize them on earth. And the ones that are making you do that are the ones that are I heard a good one today. It make kind of sense that the little demons don't have wings and the little angels have wings. So that's a bit what you do. You grab a demon and an angel, you put them together and you grab something for yourself during your temporal life, for your temporal time. And that destroys the program that Mother Nature offers if you regard it on a natural plane. It goes against the nature to build the way that we build. We should live in tents and not chip the stone. But we won't do it because that's what's written in the Bible, that he grabs a handful of sand, so it's treated as it doesn't matter wherever you go through in your life. At one point, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna comprehend the thing, and you're gonna be like me, looking for another one, like yourself, kind of thing. But that want of discussion is is, is something that you just drink milk with the best of the discussion that you could have with another newborn brother, with another real Christian, another real newborn. It'd be much different, much different. Lot of complicated discussion could happen. So that's how. But I mean, it's very rare. Jesus is very rare in this world, in persons. Like, a lot of good preacher that plays a lot of good religious words, but I get story from Cotton Mather in the time of the witch of Salem, and hard to do that. I mean, he wrote it. He wrote it. I mean, there's many. It's all the same story. It all relates to the same stuff. It was clear for them. The spiritual realm was so clear for them, and I know that it'll come right back to that. That the spiritual realm will become extremely clear, and that's the time that the Antichrist will manifest himself, will popularize himself, and everybody will think that it's Jesus, and that's the deception, and that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get material, comfort, bodily solution. He's gonna offer bodily solution, and everybody will be stoked about that. And it'll be good till we suck all of Mother Nature's energy, that ether energy. That I think it's electricity nowadays. We harvest out of that electricity with the magnetism. And that's what I mean with somehow to me it's intertwined with the ley lines and the star-shaped castle and stuff like that. It's that energy of Mother Earth that is something else in the spiritual realm. It's Earth energy. It's not ideal, but it's at that point that's the kind of thing that, if everything is frequency, then it's just different realm of frequency. For what we can see for frequency, we see nothing. We have no idea what's around us. We had to make computer to understand it, and then you realize that we knew that in the pyramids and stuff like that. So, whatever. That's why it gets clear when it's said in the Bible in Ecclesiastes. It's pretty clear that we are not creating nothing. Everything is always. I mean, we're not inventing nothing. Everything already has been created. It's very much like the whole puzzle was together, was cut, was put in a bag. And now slowly for the devil we put that puzzle back together. So he can achieve himself into reality. And that puzzle is built by your ability of transforming that matter. Because he couldn't come in reality through the ways of the magic. He needs to come down to have absolute power. He needs that technology in a way for having a universal belief that everybody believes in him in the yearly worship. Every year you're gonna have to go and worship him. And that is very scary. Very scary. So anyways, I'll go with that, but yeah, not good to pray God. You don't want to pray God. And God's got no connection with anybody without new birth. You need new birth to pray God. And you don't pray God, you pray to God through Jesus. You need truth. And you go nowhere in reality without truth. You go nowhere at conceptualizing principles in your mind without coherency and justice and balance. That would kind of bring both together. So it needs logic, a construct of the mind, and an acceptance of the heart. That the heart is confident that the reasoning of the mind is right. You have kind of the three there. Satan becoming temptation in the ideology of trying to go somewhere yourself, taking decision. You don't want to take decisions anymore. You're at rest. You understand that what needs to happen to you is going to happen to you. And the more you try to go your way, the more you're defeating God and God's power, which is the spiritual realm. Because when you work for God, the spiritual realm work with you. In the manner that you have faith in that realm. So you don't need to carry any load. You completely unload yourself. You don't. don't have a bank account, you don't pay tax because you don't have a job, and if you have a job, you work it for peanuts under the table, so you don't feel guilty too much about it, but you don't want to do it, hate doing it. You do it because you're a tomboy and you like to screw around with cars. And you need to eat, but all that is not the perspective. Also, it doesn't matter what you do. It's not about what you do. It's about how you comprehend, how well you comprehend. That's what important. Whatever you do, it doesn't get you in any harm into rolling thought pattern in your mind and conceiving better of that those details that you inquire about, because that's an important another important part in the philosophy. I'm getting late there, but no, I should stop that right there. Okay, now we're bye bye.